Hong Kong is going to have a 4-year university. Now it's 3 years. But in 2012, it will go from 3 years to 4 years. They take 1 year from the high school and put it with the university. And I thought this is one opportunity in history where you can organize the syllabus or syllabi of universities. So I went around and talked to the 8 universities and say, well, don't you think it's a good idea that we teach liberal arts education in the first year, that particular first year? They have accepted it, and now I sponsor very scholar, the Fulbright scholar from England, and we are talking to Rhodes scholars Fulbrights from United States and other scholars from England, so that they can come and help us to design it. I also have a foundation that replaced dilapidated schools in school buildings in China. I'm very happy to report that during the earthquake, none of our 20 schools collapsed. They were all holding up very well. 2 years ago, I also find that it took me a while to move from the second to the third age. First age is learning how to make a good living. Second age is making a good living, like you guys. The third age is living a good life. A lot of people don't know how to move from earning a good living to living a good life. So I started the Good Life Foundation. And I run a one-day seminar on Saturdays of coaching people how to put things down and pick up new things. This is my painting. I told you that I started my own style. This is called post-scholar style. You see that the colors are different. It still has a very strong Chinese base, artistic base, but the color and the strokes and the power, these are the actual size. So you can see the actual power. That's my entrepreneurial journey, and we will go on. I hope to live to 120 years old, so I'm only halfway through my life journey. My theory now is if you live long enough, you will live forever, because medicine is changing the world. With stem cells, with different parts you can change, you can replace and so on. So if you like to live forever, start working on it now. The 3 founders of of DHL is Adrian Dorsey, Larry Hillblom, and Robert Lin. So DHL does not stand for what some of you think. It doesn't stand for documents hopelessly lost. It is the initial of the 3 founders. Adrian Dorsey, Larry Hillblom, and Robert Lin. They started DHL in Los Angeles in 1969. They were working for a cross-town messenger service, and Adrian Dorsey came back from the customers and say, hey, boss, they asked us to go to Hawaii, they asked us to go to San Francisco, Seattle. Why don't we start a inter-city instead of just an intra-city courier service, messenger service? But the boss said no, so the 3 of them left the cross-town messenger service with $3,000 of National Science Foundation loan from Larry Hillblom. They started the company. So for 2 years, they worked in the West Coast and Pacific. So in 1971, they opened New York. And American Express, they picked up 2 customers, American Express and Bank of America. And they asked them to come to Hong Kong, Subic Bay, Guam, Honolulu. Yokohama, Kobe, because those were military points. At that time, America was escalating their involvement in Vietnam. Those were the payroll spots. And those banks say, can you help us with the payroll information going back to the to New York. And that's when Adrian Dorsey came to Hong Kong. At that time, I was working for the toy company, and I was going crazy because the head office of that toy company was in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Or at least I had to get things back to New York. And it was not easy to send things back to New York with the post office. Sometimes you send 10 packages, 8 packages would arrive, one of them doesn't arrive, and they have no idea which one was missing. We would be receiving things 10 or 8 days late. And when you have a production center on the Far East and the head office is in New York, it's almost impossible. I don't know how we survive it without DHL at that time. But DHL came, knocked on my door. And Adrian Dorsey, after talked to me about 3 hours explaining, or 2 hours explaining the service, he said, hey, why don't you quit the toy company? You seem to know the banks, the shipping companies, how they operate, and the trading company, and the manufacturers. You are our customer. Actually, you represent our customers. So I said, no, I have a very good job, but he was a very good salesman. And then first day we started about 11 o'clock. It was a Saturday, and we talked until about 11 o'clock at night. The next day, 8 o'clock, maybe we talked for 8 hours. So I became very much interested because I know if I need it, the banks need it, and the shipping company needs it, and the trading company needs it, and the manufacturer needs it. Well, that's at least 10% of Hong Kong or a quarter of Hong Kong at the time. So I was very interested, but I did ask him as he left and say, how much are you shipping every day? He said, oh, we're doing good business. We are shipping 20 pounds, 10 kilos. And here I was, the operations manager of a toy company who was shipping 10 containers a week, right? And this guy is sending only 20 pounds. So I throw in whatever it's worth anyway. I say, well, Hong Kong is too small. If you give me the Far East, I'll think about it. So he swallowed hard, he left, and I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. And then one night, he called me at home and said, Paul, he said, I talked to my partners. You can have the Far East. Basically, there was nothing in the Far East except 2 customers and a lot of debt, right? And an idea. So, and an idea is not only an idea, it's an idea that only works in the United States. It hasn't proven that it's working here. I mean, he was in Hong Kong for about 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean that it was